Let me just keep you here. Right. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. This is Amar. Welcome to yet another video from Dublin, Ireland. Before we dive into the conversation about accommodation, let me just thank you for the overwhelming response that you've given to Uprise. We managed to get some students over the line for the September 2020 intake. A lot of students asked general questions on the website, so Uprise doesn't answer to such people. For that, I am here. If you have any question, just post it in the comment section or reach me on Instagram, LinkedIn, ask me a question. I'll try to clear your doubt. Having said that, I just finished recording the Q&A. If you haven't checked it out yet, please go take a look. It's a very interesting discussion and I have tried to be very comprehensive about each and everything that I've discussed. I hope that video will help you, so please go check it out after this video, of course. Just making some coffee for myself. It's a weekend, so we had a little bit of cooking going on here. I have been working my ass off for almost 12 hours a day over the past month or so because of Uprise, but hopefully I'm going to take a little rest now. Okay, well, this is going to be a very casual conversation. That's why I'm drinking coffee. I'll go out shortly. I'll take you, of course, with me. I just want to clear one thing. I am not a permanent resident here in Ireland. Over the last few days, some people were asking, so I'm just a temporary resident. And I would move back to my home when I'm done with my work here. I have lived in different places and paid different kinds of rents. That is why I would like to share my experience with you. The information that I'm going to share today is from my personal experience. These are the things that I've seen, and I want to share those with you because you have been requesting. To begin with, some people were asking how to begin search if they are not in Ireland already. Some people asked, can you name some areas? So yes, please make a note. Before I talk about accommodation options for students, I would like to take a couple of minutes to talk to those people who are looking for an entire place for themselves. Usually people who move to Ireland for work along with their family prefer staying in a bigger house, maybe 2-bedroom house, 3-bedroom house. So let me talk to you guys first. First concern is safety and security if you're moving in with your family. Now, it's really difficult to say which areas are good and which areas are bad. Ireland in general is a very friendly country. People are really friendly. So it's not a problem on an average across Ireland. However, there is a little amount of crime. Mostly it is drug-induced crime, I would say. You can't take things for granted. Shit happens and you'll have to be alert all the time regardless of where you're living. It is exactly how it is in any other country. And if you ask me about racism, I would say on an average, again, really low, but there is some amount of casual racism that is induced by the ignorance of people about your home country. I wouldn't say that it is rampant like some other countries. I learned this term casual racism from a very good friend whose wife wrote an article about their experience when they first moved to Australia. It's a really interesting read. I'll leave a link in the description. Check it out. It might interest you as well. She put it as casual racism. It is not necessarily bad, but it is not right either. Anyway, who's that? So what areas do I suggest to live in? Now personally, I have lived in Blanchardstown, Tala, Lucan, Sandyford. I have not lived at all these places, just a couple of these places, but I know people, my colleagues and my friends live in these places, so it might be a good searching point for you. Tala, Lucan, Sandyford, Santry, Dunleary. These are some of the places, so just go to Google Map and look for these places. I won't necessarily say that these are affordable places, but certainly it might help you get started. Other than that, because of the high cost of accommodation, a lot of people live outside Dublin County as well, such as in Kildare County. The rent prices are lower compared to Dublin, not so much but a little, so that is again an option for you. And there is no harm in it. Dublin is really well connected by public transport, so a lot of people travel by trains and buses to the adjoining counties where they can afford living. But which areas are affordable? There is no such thing as cheaper accommodation in Dublin. If you find an accommodation that is cheap, you would guaranteed compromise on certain things. It might not have supermarkets nearby, it won't have good connectivity, or it might not have a school or maybe hospitals or clinics nearby. So there's no such thing as cheaper accommodation in Dublin. On an average, the rent market is on the higher side of the spectrum. If you're someone who's moving to Dublin, Ireland, be prepared mentally to shell out a lot of money in rent. But how much rent are we talking about? How costly are houses? Usually the houses built in the city center are costly than houses in the outer areas. That's the general rule of thumb, but there are certain areas, especially on the southern side of the city, where certain houses would be costlier than the city center. On an average, anywhere in Dublin city, a 3-bedroom house or an apartment would be listed anywhere between 2,000 euros to 3,000 euros, and even more in some cases. So it's just an average number that I'm giving you. Certain houses, mostly those that are on the seashore, might also be listed for 3,500, 4,000 euros per month. So you can imagine it's quite a lot, but if you make that kind of dough, maybe yeah, that's your thing. Whereas a 2-bedroom apartment or a 2-bedroom house would cost you anywhere between 1,600, 1,700 euros to 2,500 euros, which is again I think quite a lot. If you compare that with the average income of the locals in Dublin, it's quite high. There is this disparity, no balance between the income and the rent prices. And if you know economics, when the demand is higher than supply, prices go up. That's what is happening with the rental market in Dublin. But surely 1-bedroom apartments would be affordable, you would think, but there are not many 1-bedroom apartments or even studio apartments in Dublin. Most of them are saturated in the city center, and again the rents are on the higher side. You would shell out anywhere between 1,200 euros to 1,800 euros for a 1-bedroom apartment, whereas a studio apartment would cost you anywhere between 1,200 euros to 1,500, 1,600 euros, depending on the location. So these are just the average rent prices. If you're someone who's looking to rent an entire place to yourself, be prepared to shell out a lot of money. But the story for students is completely different, who don't want to share the entire place. They live in shared accommodation, in dorms, in student hostels, or their university accommodation, which I believe are the best options for them. So let us talk about it now. Oh, look at the sky. You see those mountains in the distance? Those are Wicklow Mountains. And if you care, Wicklow Mountains are the largest elevated area in this country. Community center. This is the actor from the last video. He was starring in the last video, and 2 years later he's still looking for accommodation. As a student, your best option is to go with the accommodation provided by your university, college or institute, merely because it will save you the headache of finding accommodation as soon as you land here. And trust me, that is something that might break you. You'll arrive here with big dreams, and then having to struggle to find an accommodation could be challenging for some people. Not that I'm discouraging you, but just be mentally prepared to slog it out. So your best option is to go with the accommodation provided by your institute. However, convenience does not come cheap. It would cost you somewhere around 800, 900 euros, which is on the higher side. However, you will get excellent facilities as well as a very good atmosphere, a very good international atmosphere to live in. And it will also help you when you're doing your assignments and your projects. So if you have that kind of budget, do consider, in most of the cases, living on the student accommodation at your institute would even be better than the environment that you get in your classroom. So think about it. There are also other options to go for private student accommodations. Once again, these are not really affordable. However, they will provide you good atmosphere, security, as well as peace of mind. It's really difficult if you're not in Ireland to book an accommodation. However, I will leave some links to reliable private student accommodations. Just go there, check them out. If you like them, you might want to book them. Like I said, they are on the costlier side, could be 800, 900 euros for the month. Other than that, your next option is to look for sharing accommodation. Now, sharing accommodation is your cheapest option, and you will find places ranging from 350 euros to 1000 euros. In 350 you might get a bunk bed in a dorm, and there won't be any privacy. However, if you go for a sharing accommodation along with a group of your friends, it might suit you better. You might end up paying 500-600 euros per head, share a room with one of your mates, and get an entire place for a group of you for 2,000-2,500 euros, close to your place of study. So क्या बात कर रहा था मैं? But how do you find these accommodation? What are the resources that you can use? Online, of course. There is a website called daff.ie, rent.ie, myhome.ie. There are such websites. Other than that, you can also go to Facebook, join these certain accommodation rooms, accommodation groups, and look for accommodation there. That is how I found the accommodation that I'm living in currently. And that is how my friend found his accommodation too. So it's a good starting point. There's a train passing by. There's another very good resource that you should not shy away from using. That is getting help of a letting agent. Now, most of the times, as an international expat, local landlords may not be comfortable in renting their place to you. So a letting agent would help mellow down the landlord, which might work in your favor. So definitely that's one of the ways that you should look at. And I think that's it. I don't have anything further to say. We have other plans now. It's a weekend, like I told you at the beginning of the video. Check out the Q&A, the previous video. Share it with people who might find the information useful. Share this video as well, and I'll see you next week, hopefully. Take care of yourself. Stay healthy. Bye bye.